Junto Nakatani is one of the most electric talents in boxing, period. And as he gears up to take on the monster Naoya Inoue, it's the perfect time to take a look at his resume. May 2nd will bring us one of the year's finest fights, and that's as much down to Nakatani as it is to Inoue. Remember, if you want to help to support the channel, be sure to use your hype feature. Geronil Boris had a very tough task ahead of him. This fight was clearly a stay-busy affair for Junto, and he would make it look that easy. This one would not last long at all.
今第4試合のゴングが鳴らされました。まずはこのサウスポースタイル、白とそして青のサイドラインのトランクス、青のボクシンググローブを身につけていますのが MT ジムの中谷潤と日本ユースフライ級のチャンピオンです。今左を伸ばしてきました。赤のトランクス、赤のボクシンググローブはフィリピンの国内ランカー、国内フライ級10位のランキングを持っているジェロニル・ボレス、フィリピン人ボクサーです。さあここから放送の解説はセレス小林さんとお届けいたします。セレスさんどうぞよろしくお願いいたします。
お願いします。
さあセレスさん、この MT ジムの中谷潤と非常に楽しみなボクサーですね。
そうです、まあ本当ね、日本の今の軽量級ではね、本当もう次世界を狙えるのは、ね、中谷選手という感じですよね。
ああそうですか、戦績が13戦13勝10 KO、 未だ無敗でここまで勝ち上がってきています。日本ユースフライ級そのチャンピオン、ベルトも持ちました中谷潤人です。ただ相手もこの左を大きく打ってきます、この左に自信を持っているのがボレスです。
ボレスですね、一瞬の踏み込みのスピードは速いですよ。
あ、そうですか。
そこは注意したいですね。
本人も左のボディ、そして左のフック、これまで5つの KO があるんですが、顎を捉え、そしてボディ、そういったパンチで倒してきたというふうに話しています。まさにそこに警戒しなければならないというふうに中谷は話しています。おっと右、左から右につなげてきましたこのボレスです。この左のパンチ、いやーセレスさん、思わずボレスが後ろにこう行ってしまうほどのパンチ力ですね。
そうですね、左はね本当強いですよね、遠い距離からね本当打ってますよね。
はい、ここで来た、
全く見えてなかったですね。
まさかの国内ランカー、ここで立つことができません。フィリピン国内ランカー、あっという間に中谷が倒しました。
全く見えてない左のボディでしたね。
中谷がまさにその左、見事に炸裂させました。まだ汗もかいていないというような MT ジムの中谷。
いやもっとね本当見たかったですね。ボレス選手もねいい選手でしたからね、とても楽しみだったんですけど、
いやそれを上回るテクニック、攻撃力が。
そうですね、そうですね、本当のこのボディですね。
はい、
今はね、ユースの、ね、フライ級持ってますけど、体が大きいですからね。
In the end, Nakatani didn't let it go on any longer than it needed to. Easy work. Would his countryman Naoki Mochizuki fare any better? Or would Nakatani continue to make it look easy? This one would certainly take more than a round. Mochizuki did well to make it to the latter half of the fight, but that's just about the only thing you can give him. The 24 and 1 Gimel Magramo would no doubt offer a sterner test, or at least that's how it looked on paper. But when Nakatani's moment came, you'd better believe he was going to take it.
見た感じマグラモ選手は一発パンチを打つと続けざまにパンチを打てそうな感じの選手ですね。
相手の左ストレート、左のボディ、サイドボディ、ロックをやっていく、来ましたが、
来ましたね。
左のストレート、山中さんも中谷の左のロングフックというのも注目されていますが、
上当たってからすぐに
右のボディ、
ボディにも
マグラモです。それに対して中谷潤と左のストレート、ここも左ストレート、右のフックを返し、右のパーまでつなげていきました。
中谷選手はこれ以上突っ込む必要ないですよ。
そうですか。
このロングレンジの距離で戦いたいですね。
中谷潤です。
辻岡さん、
はい、
マグラモ陣営なんですが、やはりこの距離感なんだと。
そうですか。
負けてないですよ。
デリー、ここもカウンター、左ストレート、カウンター気味に合わせていきました。右のジャブ、距離をね、右のパー突き上げていきました。ただ足を踏ん張って中谷止めまして、右のボディ、左パー、目を捉えました。
今左のボディアップ打ちましたけど、あれすごい有効ですよね。
そうですか。体を入れ替えていきます。
このままの形で左のボディーブローを当てていければ、後半中盤ですね、中盤以降だいぶねスタミナのロスが出てくると思うんですよね。
中谷被弾しました。左フック、
ナイスアップですよ。
右のボディー、ファイナルクロスに流れました。
ボディを打ちたいんでしょうけどね、なかなかそれができてませんから、陣営を少しね苛立ちになるのかもしれませんね。
このようにガードを固め、左フック、
ガード固めてロープコーナーに、
本当にそうですね。
陣営がね言ってる通りのね作戦でやってますよね。それをね実際にリングでできるってのはすごいですよね。
そうですか。
戦って、一応かと思いきや近づいてっていう戦い方で迷わして、
左のボディ、左のパー、もう一度左のボディです。
いいですね。よく日本はあまりやらないんですけど、海外はよくね使う作戦ですよ。できる選手なんですよね。
左の打ち下ろし、右のボディです。ただ山中さん、相手のマグラも本当にタフですね。
そうですね。本当に身につけてますね。
左から右、
このラウンドのスペカーすごいですね。
なんでもっと前に行かないんだと。マグラモも戻ってきた時はかなり肩で呼吸をして、そして口をゆすいだ時にはもうそれ真っ赤でしたね。
そうですか。またボディもアッパーも多彩なコンビネーションを見せていきます中谷潤人です。これまでプロ20戦して全勝のうち15はノックアウトです。右のボディダブルアッパーつなげていきました。もう一度ワンツースリー、右のパー、中谷の左のアッパー警戒しているという話はしていましたが、顔面左ストレート、左のフック、右のパー、まだダウンの経験がないというマグラム相手に、さあ左のストレート、
ボディのパンチも結構ダメージ与えられてるんで、
左のストレート、ガードが下がったところ、中谷潤人の左のストレート一発、
左のボディも当たりやすくなりますからね。
ここをポイントと見たが左のフックを大きく打っていきました中谷潤人。
いや、ここの俺にチャンスですよ。
左のパー、ガードが飛びきた、中谷潤人立ってきました。いや、ここで止めました。中谷潤人、世界初挑戦で世界タイトル、世界フライ級新チャンピオンです。
いや、すごいいい攻撃でしたね。
まとめに行きましたね。
ご家族への22年分の恩返し。
Magramo was good, but Nakatani was clearly on his way to greatness. With the WBO flyweight title on the line, Angel Acosta was up next. He also had a strong record on paper, but would that be enough? Nakatani wanted to make a statement here, and waiting around until the later rounds was not on the cards.
Challenger who's already raised the crown at 108 pounds. Junto Nakatani against Angel Tito Acosta.
I like the neutral posture of Nakatani, how he leans over like that and stays low. It's easy for a taller fighter to stand tall. He likes to apply pressure, but he can also box. It's going to be very interesting to see this fight start to unfold as the rounds progress.
That's a big left hook from Nakatani. No relation to Masayoshi Nakatani, who...
Yeah, Nakatani threw out that bait. That's that lead hand he has there. Acosta, excuse me, drawed him in and made him pay with the left hand.
Is that stick?
Yeah, keeping him occupied, keeping him looking at that hand, and then he boom, it explodes with the backhand. That's the hand that he really wants to land.
who will switch southpaw, and that left is vicious. And so is his jab as he goes to the body with that left hook.
He needs to play a little defense, I would say. Nakatani has his timing down already.
Oh, there's a right hand that waffles him. He landed right on the temple. Nakatani digging to the body here, and this is the distance that really favors Acosta.
If I'm Acosta right now, I'm paying attention to my defense. I'm not worried about getting the offense right now.
What a body shot that Nakatani is ripping here in round number 1. Burn, that grass area on the top of this amphitheater was sold out because people want to see Oscar Valdez against Robson Conceição, but the reality is this may be the fight of the night.
Nakatani is not necessarily a fast fighter. He's a quick fighter. And Acosta has to find a way to get inside and punch in between.
From the end of round number 1, it's going to be hard to breathe, and it's a target for Nakatani to go after. As he lands right on the
Yeah, he has to try to weather that storm.
It's just dripping blood. It's profuse, and it's the blood that's coming out, but it's also the blood that Acosta's swallowing here in the heat in Tucson, Arizona. That's worrisome. And the punches from Junto Nakatani as Acosta fires back.
Break, step back. Yeah, he's doing the right thing. He knows he doesn't have much time if that blood continues, which it looks like it will. So try to get a shot in there, and hopefully you can land something big. It's not. I don't know what kind of rules they got, but it's not a reason to stop a fight.
Big left hook there from Acosta as Nakatani also fires back.
That's what he needed, Bernardo. I think if it starts to affect his performance and you see he's not taking shots well, then you got to make a move. I think Acosta's fine right now. From Acosta. Yeah, and Acosta don't have any answers. He's not picking up his right hand.
Oh, nice body shot from Nakatani here in round 3.
He knows how to maintain range, his distance, throws combination. It's over. Starting with his jab. Yep, it is over. Yeah. I don't know if I agree with that. I've seen guys worse. Fought through broken noses, broken ribs, hands, etc., but like I told you guys, I think it's the reason is there's a lot of blood, Bernardo, and the doctor's worried about it going back in his throat and choking. That's what he's worried about. Listen, I'm all for fighter safety. You definitely got to.
In the end, it was as dominant and destructive as you might expect. With just 9 fights under his belt as a pro, would experience be an issue for Ryota Yamuchi? Nakatani's goal was simple: deliver his violent moment when it mattered most. Yamuchi would not make it easy though.
Hard of Yamuchi, and that's the punch that I was just going to say. That left hand. Oh, good.
Hard left hand connects there.
Opens himself up quite a bit when he does get in front of a guy. So the reaction. Oh,
big right up.
Impressive.
Ooh. Hard left hand, and that one buckled Yamuchi, who was buzzed at the end of the opening round.
Using that lead right hand to set up the left hand down the middle. And it from Yamuchi. Ah, good body shot from Nakatani to answer size and strength. And build.
Hard left hand connects again from Nakatani.
Good body shot there from Yamuchi.
A pair of uppercuts, a couple of times rough. With a good creative offense, you saw it right there.
Doing a great job of mixing up his punches. That one had an effect as well.
Yamuchi staggered once again.
Power. He knows when he gets there, it'll do the job.
Oof. Yamuchi just out of position. There's any question. I mean, he has to. Oh. Vicious left hand.
Cut is the last thing you want to get hit with.
In our co-feature situation right now, he knows what his face feels like right now. And he has to turn it up. Another coach, Rudy Hernandez, very much on board with all of them. He's the one
and again
down the pipe from Nakatani. He cannot miss. And now his guard.
Now the clock is ticking on Yamuchi. That face is not going to hold up for much longer. He needs to.
That looks like a broken nose, Chris.
That's a broken nose. There it is, straight down the middle again. I think that's his best punch, the best combination, the 1-2 down the middle.
Attention is turned. Found boxing where he could be his size at the appropriate weight and try to work on the inside a little bit, but he was giving Yamuchi some opportunities to
flourish. That lead right hand from Nakatani is dangerous, man. He slips on the outside.
Good flurry on the inside there from Nakatani. This is over the top.
Unless you're going to be a movie star. Oddly enough.
Oh, hard left hand right down the middle. And another one comes behind it.
Very hard to see from class as a fighter here. Nakatani is just a level or two above. Letting both hands go, head and body. Like to see more of that.
Ishizawa, who fights for the WBO minimum weight title in a couple of weeks at the legendary Korakuen Hall. Now we see Nakata over the top with a big left hand, but the punches just keep on.
Here we see again, blind Yamauchi with the right hand, come back with the straight left hand. Now he's adding combinations to the mix. And there.
But he also likes the possibility of a fight against Kazuto fighter in Nakatani, who
close in on it. All right, if I can just let my hands go, let these combinations fly. Fighters, but Yamuchi does it well. Hasn't been very consistent with it here tonight.
I'm sure they've read about him, but I'm sure there's a portion of our audience here tonight.
Yeah, the life plan of Nakatani has certainly been working. I think that would make a lot of sense for him to move
for the very first time, and according to him, this could be the last time.
Contender status.
Of round 6. From the age of 14 onwards, this is all that he has done.
Good combination there from Nakatani.
He's doubling up on that left hand.
I mean, he doesn't seem to be mustering up much of an offense. He's not putting himself in a position.
You know, pound for pound at that time, was one of the top pure punchers. It's a left hook downstairs. Nakatani is drastically decreasing at this point, too.
Yeah, I mean, part of that has to do with, which I'm not surprised. I mean, boom, here we see that. That was that. I keep speaking about the variety of punches.
And because
I'd rather go out on their show. Ooh, good right hand there from Yamauchi.
Terrific right hand from Yamauchi.
Living on my own, I was across the country. You know, he was in another country, so I understand.
All these little shots on the inside that you barely see because, to your point, Yamauchi a moment ago, and now he is in big-time trouble.
Just go, it's natural. Almost like someone who's been doing this height, and he changes his levels really well, but it's also, he's so years old, didn't go to high school.
A little dip in the knees from Nakatani pouring it on, and that is it.
Yeah, good stoppage. We hadn't seen Yamauchi hurt like that since the early rounds. Like I said, his punch resistance was getting better. He was being
Vice of the corner, Ryota Yamauchi's corner stops this contest for your winner by technical knockout.
In the end, all he could do was delay the inevitable finish, and when it came, it was conclusive. Andrew Maloney was as legitimate an opponent as Nakatani had faced so far in his career up to that point, and he was saving something special to mark the occasion, and Maloney unfortunately would never see it coming.
He should be rough and be physical. Good shot right there from Nakatani, but he should also throw to the body. Clean, crisp shots right there.
Trying with the short right uppercut on the inside was Maloney. Oh, it was a body shot that time from Nakatani as Maloney came forward. The undisputed world champion, Devin Haney, putting all 4 belts on the line against the former unified lightweight champion, Vasily Lomachenko. That is coming up.
Maloney froze him right in his tracks. You see him moving around, trying to clear his head right now.
Doubles up the uppercut and then goes with a knockdown, scored with a...
You know, the poison for him is the uppercut. He leans over his front knee.
Sure. Looking to get after Maloney here.
It's the upper test. Right and left
Hook comes in. Left uppercut again, right uppercut again.
Nakatani went away from the upper and then came back to it after the body shot.
Another right hand to the body, showing all the offense here in round number 2. The undefeated recent world champion who moved up in weight, looking to claim another division. Stakes are much higher here, though. His first attempt at a widely recognized world title. Nakatani's had one.
I see blood.
Your right eye looks like there's some redness and some blood. Ooh. There's another right uppercut from Nakatani.
That's the shot, the right or left uppercut.
He landed 17 of those, including the uppercuts that scored the knockdown. Big round for the undefeated Nakatani.
He looking for that uppercut.
That was the feint you were looking for.
That's
right
the
there.
feint, yes.
That caused good shot. Before I could finish my sentence, Nakatani corrected himself and landed the uppercut.
Knockdown was scored in round number 2. Big clash of heads earlier in this round.
Not sure Maloney can be first as often as coach wants to. Good shot right there.
Could hear it.
Just missed it straight. Good
There's
shot.
a body
right
shot that comes in. And then two uppercuts come right back from Nakatani.
Referee's doing a great job as well, trying to stay out of the action as often as he can, as much as he can.
Mark Nelson.
Good shot right there. I felt that body shot right there from Nakatani. That was good. He spun out. Good shot from both guys.
Wow, both guys going to the body simultaneously. Oscar Valdez will be in the co-feature on the pay-per-view portion.
Making it a little bit more difficult for Maloney to get inside on him.
And that's when Maloney's having all this trouble.
Yep.
Where he's allowing this to happen. Just because Nakatani makes an adjustment doesn't mean that you go along with it. Maloney needs to live inside, not just taking punches, but landing as well. What he needs to do. He's been hit with some shots tonight. He's had his way for the most part in this fight, but he's not afraid. He doesn't mind scrapping and getting in close. It just doesn't serve him very well.
Let him go.
Maloney's got 2.5 rounds to try to make something happen.
He needs a knockout.
And he wants to go home and be on that long flight knowing that he's done everything that he possibly can.
Yes.
He can't leave anything here or leave anything in the tank. He wants to leave it all here.
1-2 from range. Another 1-2. Oh! A straight left hand floors Maloney.
5, 6. Listen, are you
Well, Nakatani set it up off the jab. Nice stick right there. You see the jab. Do you see Maloney? He moved his head to the left to avoid the...
Been sharp shooting all night, in complete control. Comes with the left hand again. Tries to split the guard behind the jab. Maloney looking to tie up. Still over a minute to survive here in round number 11.
Straight left hand, right on the money. Another one, Tess. Maloney's doing his best to try to clear his head.
Like Naoya Inoue.
Yes.
Who was the recent undisputed bantamweight champion, who now is going to 122 pounds. Remember, this fight was almost stopped after the 11th round by the corner of Maloney. They sent him back out, and now he's a half-minute away from going the distance in what will most likely be lopsided scores and a championship won for Nakatani. Oh my! That was devastating! What happened?
My gosh.
Watch his legs. That's all you need to know. Watch the legs.
Flick jab. Sting getting range. He sees him coming in. Times him perfectly. Gets his head off the line. Looping left hand knuckles.
Even by Junto standards, this was a remarkable knockout and a worthy addition to his highlight reel. A solid test in the form of Agi Cortez was next up for Nakatani, and this 30-fight veteran would not be swept aside so easily. Nakatani's cardio would need to be on point for this one.
He hooks it with that lead right hand from the southpaw stance, just a bit. Which happens so often when you have the orthodox and southpaw fighters, each of those lead foot for each respective fighter. That eventually, now he switches directions just a bit, going towards his own right. Cortez, nice right hand to start this round for Cortez.
Probably Cortez's best punch so far in this fight.
Agreed.
Yeah, but he gets hit with a good left hand and followed with a right jab from Nakatani. Again.
Twice
now,
with the left hand and then right back out.
And he's out of there. Cortez's problem, he's a lot more fluent with his shots and his movement. Cortez almost got caught there reaching. He has to step in with the shots. He's not going to catch Nakatani like that. Especially with one shot. Got caught there.
4 rounds.
Especially this round, for sure.
It's a beautiful thing when you can continue to win rounds.
getting under those shots, probably bend a little bit more at the waist and, you know, and march forward, but also throwing some feints to get him to react, because at times Nakatani, he'll overextend his punches. Don't leave it out there like that, though, but start pumping the jab.
Why not meet the southpaw jab with your left hand, right? Kind of counter it a little bit. He gets, even if he goes straight back, it's just enough back to get out of the way of the shorter arms of Cortez.
And you see how he just tried to dip under, just like, yeah, he needs to start breaking at the waist, get under those long shots, and continue.
Not enough to win him the round, but definitely keep him in the fight. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely some improvement, especially after those 2 knockdowns. But again, you know, realizing that he's only throwing 1 jab, and then what happens when he does that? He'll bring the jab back, and Nakatani will come back with 2 shots of his own, or his own jab. See, 1 here, 1 there. And I mean, even when he throws that 1...
Of the gut, it's not these looping shots around the side that you see tag in the liver.
Well, that body shot again. This time he looped that left hand.
Like a looping uppercut. I actually thought we were going to see more of those.
Tripped up again. He fell over. He fell a little bit too over his front foot with that left hand. You see, and that's a sign right there. Whenever a fighter gets hit with a body shot and then goes back to his opponent's body, that tells you right there is because he's being bothered by Cortez on the canvas 3 times. Cortez pumping that right hand a lot more. You know, he's making an effort. He's moving forward, but again, you know, you don't want to just march in and put something out there. Blind him with your jab.
Yeah, but I'm definitely not mad at how he started this round. I mean, a little bit more sense of urgency, trying to get in any way that he can. Sensing that he's got to close that distance to try to give himself a shot.
There we go, right there.
Down to good right hand to the body there for Cortez.
Just like that.
Connects there as well. Down to the body again for Cortez.
This is a good exchange. Good effort from Cortez. He just got hit with a good left hand there. But again, this is the best exchanges he's had in a while in this fight. He's got hit with a good left hand up top from Nakatani.
Catching Nakatani going back and being first, you know, that's what he did.
In the end, although he didn't score the finish, the result was still quite a lopsided one. Up at bantamweight next, we would see how Nakatani's power would translate. Would Alejandro Santiago prove that size does in fact matter in the ring, or not?
His wife and kid were in danger there. They got out okay, but that wasn't easy to deal with in terms of the preparation for him in that fight.
No, he was cut over both eyes in that fight. Took some big power from the Dudonaire.
Rudy Hernandez said Nakatani's always been an extremely disciplined fighter, always wanted to be in the gym.
Mentioned last round that he draws a line in the sand, and then as you cross that critical distance line, he'll let that left hand go like that.
And it took him almost all of 2 rounds to finally get inside, but when he did so, he made Nakatani pay.
Yeah, those are big shots. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you see him landing that jab over the top consistently. Boom, and he puts that left hand right behind it. Lightning quick.
And that's going to be Alejandro Santiago's challenge here tonight with 20 seconds to go in round 2.
Good short left hand right down the middle. Splits the guard of Santiago.
And so far, Chris, it's been Santiago trying to get inside close distance. Big right hand there lands for Santiago, and another one. Just as we were talking about what he was trying to do, he had success getting on the inside and throwing the right hand.
And that's really what Santiago's going to have to do tonight. He's going to have to take a risk to get inside, close that distance, and land shots like that. He's going to have to punch with. They hit you with that punch you don't see. But Santiago's super tough. You're going to have to catch him with something that he's not aware of. Uppercut the last 2 rounds. There was a beautiful one. There's that overhand left. I thought that was the punch that may have caused the cut, but doesn't seem like it was. It's going to be very easy for Nakatani to take a half step back and be able to counter. Big left hand over the top catches Santiago when he thought he was safe on the way out, still was able to land.
That's a testament to the long left hand and the reach of Nakatani. That big left hand over the top. And there it is again.
Nice jab from Nakatani. Good timing, good distance. Half step back, snaps the jab.
Left hand gets through again for Nakatani. And that time it was more in the looping fashion, so that just adds another variable to Nakatani's attack. Sometimes that left hand is straight, sometimes it's looping, and you really never know. And of course the Maloney fight, which we showed highlights of, that was the looping left hand, where he knocked out Maloney in spectacular fashion.
Yeah, but we saw there, as soon as he threw that looping shot, he got into dangerously close. There we see that good use of range from Nakatani. That round he was utilizing. I gotta stay straight for now. Good right hand from Santiago over the top as Nakatani throws the left uppercut from too far away. 1-2, and then coming back with a power jab. I like that coming from the southpaw position. There we saw the overhand right from Santiago.
And it seemed like Santiago had success with that right hand because it was a lead right hand, right? Usually, sometimes you set up the power shot with the jab, but that time it was a lead, so it caught Nakatani by surprise.
Yeah, Santiago is starting to realize that he has to punch with Nakatani because of his control of the range. So as Nakatani steps in to try and hit him, he's got to throw with him. The problem with that is he opens himself up for those shots coming back his way, but really that's his only shot at this point. He needs to punch with Nakatani.
Find openings on the difficult Junto Nakatani.
That he threw while Nakatani was throwing the uppercut from too far away. And there's that other shot you just mentioned, changing levels, coming from a lower position.
He was able to get inside and close some distance and land some power shots. But a lot of this fight has been Junto Nakatani working the jab at distance and following it up with power shots.
Yeah, at this range, you're just not going to beat Nakatani. He is a master at keeping the distance, throwing those long punches. Boom, that's that body shot that I was talking about. Stops on a dime and then rips a left uppercut. Nakatani is the challenger. So, you know, it's going to be more than just trying. I mean, nobody wants to leave their belt. Ooh, good shots there from Nakatani as he backs Santiago up. Santiago took that well because that was right on the money. Beautifully timed shot, though. And there's that overhand jab, that 1-2-1 combination, followed with a lead.
Sweeping the opening rounds and now putting on a show in round 5. Combinations, quickness, movement. Alejandro Santiago looking to make adjustments, looking to get inside.
Looking to no avail so far here in round.
Oh! Huge left hand by Nakatani drops the champion, Alejandro Santiago, in round 6.
You know, I'd mentioned multiple times.
Really is the limit. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from that impressive performance.
Yeah, I'd said nearly flawless performance there. That was a flawless left hand. Santiago did not see that punch coming. Straight left hand right down the middle. Beautiful shot. Catches him on the point of the chin, put him down.
And here comes Junto Nakatani.
Oh.
Right hand. Down goes Santiago again. This time it was the right hook that caused damage to drop Santiago for the second time.
I think the corner stopped it. Yep, that's it.
That's the end of the fight.
Actually, those last couple rounds, here we see the finish. It's going to be a right hook along the ropes.
Nakatani looked as good as advertised, and he would only improve as he acclimatized to his new division. In front of an adoring Japanese crowd, Nakatani took on Vincent Astrolabio, and he was determined to prove that bantamweight was a perfect fit for his style. In other words, this would not take long.
It's going to be very important for Astrolabio to target the body early.
Oh, that body shot right on the belt line sends Astrolabio down in round 1. Delayed reaction there.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Thomas Taylor asked him if he's okay. He says no, and it's over. Round 1 stoppage for Junto Nakatani. And here's how he got it done. Jabs twice, straight left hand to the belt line, a delayed reaction, and down goes Astrolabio. Nico.
Wow, look at that shot. I'm speechless right now.
And part of it even looks like it was on the belt line, which
it's a perfectly placed shot. It's 100% legal. I mean, those are the shots that hurt the most. Those midsection shots, they're hard to hit. That's incredible. I was not expecting this at all.
Barely broke a sweat, did Junto Nakatani, and he is now 28 as a pro, 28-0 as a pro with 21 knockouts. What a fantastic body shot knockout for Junto Nakatani in the first round. Everybody woke up for that.
Yeah.
I think we wanted to see a little more. But that's all it took, one round. Let's make it official. Here's Jimmy.
37 seconds in round number 1. He is the winner by way of knockout and still the undefeated WBC.
In reality, Astrolabio didn't belong in the same ring as him. The unbeaten David Cuellar Contreras might have been the most impressive opponent of Nakatani's career so far, but his 28-0 record wouldn't help him when that bell rang. Nakatani wanted to prove why he was among the most hyped fighters in the sport.
The arena in Tokyo, Japan. Junto Nakatani, the southpaw.
You can already see they have a similar height, but the way that they stand, the way that Nakatani stands with his...
And in fact, talking to Rudy Hernandez, he confirmed that this is, as a professional, the tallest opponent that Nakatani has faced.
But the way Cuellar's hands are close to his face, Nakatani.
A nice left hand shot straight from Nakatani. Cuellar's first fight outside of Mexico, first scheduled 12-rounder.
You can see Cuellar looking to shift to the left of Nakatani, outside of Nakatani's jab hand. Finish with the left uppercut. We knew this is how Cuellar was going to fight. He has to put the pressure on Nakatani, and just the style, the countering style. He waits for his opponents to come in, and he counters them on their way in. So shift to the left, that roll out.
Shot to the body with the left hand, and then a chopping left hand is safe for Nakatani. Doubling up on the jab, solid left hand scores for the champ. Again, back to the left hand.
Good little up.
And round 1 ends with another left hand. Two of them together through 3 weight classes, a 3-division world champion, and a lot of it is due to that beautiful left hand that Nakatani possesses.
And that was a good left uppercut attempt from Cuellar as well, is what I was talking about. He shifted his head over.
Round 2 of this scheduled 12-rounder. Rudy Hernandez saying that, you know, this is a very difficult we've prepared for. We first want to neutralize him and then beat him. Cuellar. Michaela.
Oh, so to neutralize Cuellar, I think by keeping that perfect space, you know, they have kind of seen what Cuellar is doing, maybe getting the feel for it. You know, he's seeing how he's shifting to the left, trying to drop those uppercuts. He's seeing how to line up perfectly, and then just slowly pick it up as these shots start to land and as he starts to get Cuellar's rhythm.
Cuellar with his lead left hand, and Nakatani again lands that straight left shot for Nakatani as Cuellar looks to try to close the distance and land a shot downstairs to the body with the right hand.
Good hook uppercut from Cuellar. You know, that hook is a key on a southpaw. Cuellar has a good, strong...
Yeah, by far, Cuellar's best punch is his left hook. Go figure. A Mexican with the outstanding left hook.
Box from the outside. But so far, he's Nakatani as well. His backhand again. It's not a straight left hand. He's sort of...
20 seconds left here in round 2, and catches him there with a good shot, does Cuellar, closing the distance. But Nakatani's straight left has been a money shot. Mayor here with you, the WBC Bantamweight World title on the line from the Cuellar side.
You see Cuellar trying to mix up the hooks and the uppercuts, which I think is a good strategy.
You're a tall fighter for your weight class as you moved up. Did you like fighting opponents?
And the fighters can't get underneath him. If a shorter fighter gets underneath you, that's but with a longer fighter, I like fighting taller fighters because if they're so straight up, they're right there and they're vulnerable. They're really available for a lot of different shots.
excuse me, that has a lot of different punches in his arsenal. He's able to get knockouts in various ways. We've seen that throughout his career, down to the body with the left hook, uppercut, you know, has to offer. He did have a solid performance in his last fight that earned him this opportunity. Find the right distance that he wants to fight at, because right now Nakatani's keeping him right at that mid-range with that beautiful jab.
Yeah, he's got to pick up the combinations and be able to step forward just like that with 4 or 5 punches against the ropes. You know, that's not when you stop and pull back. You got to continue.
And there's a good body attack. Nakatani's got him hurt, and he's got him down in round 3.
3, 4, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Put your hands up.
And Cuellar sees the canvas for the first time as a pro, and he nearly gets knocked out there.
3, 4.
I don't know if he's going to get up here, Michaela.
That was a beautiful left hook from Nakatani.
And he doesn't. It's over. Junto Nakatani, 30-0 as a pro, gets it done. A unification fight at 118 will be next for him. The IBF champ Nishida, who is 10-0, was in the ring, and looks like they made kind of a handshake agreement there to unify world titles against one another. But tonight, I mean, it just...
Nakatani really just showed his experience and that he's a little bit levels above. I mean, Cuellar, kudos to him. He stepped up and he did what he had to do, but maybe just a little bit too inexperienced. Punches go and the way he smelled the blood and he was able to finish it. The head work, the body.
If the goal was to go out there and make a definitive statement, then it's pretty clear that he succeeded in that regard. But how do you think Junto Nakatani will fare in the ring against the mighty Naoya Inoue? Let us know your exact breakdown and prediction in the comments below.